Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. Compassion, the universal remedy. We have to understand first what is compassion. Just as water has three stages, water has three stages. Energy operates at three layers. The first layer of water is fluid. First layer is solid. Ice comes in that form, it has volume, voluminous. Wherever it is, it melts there, creates a mess because it cannot flow until the entire ice melts. There is always a risk, a slow risk of ice. This is solid. Then comes the liquid stage, the flowing. Ice cannot flow. When it melts, it flows. But it has to follow a certain discipline when it is flowing. It flows downwards from a higher altitude to the lower. So, in its solid form, it is a danger, it is a threat to humanity. We have been hearing a lot of talks about the iceberg melting, the snow melting on the mountains. All these things we are hearing. It remains a perpetual threat to humanity. Now, the next stage is liquid. When it is fluid, it is flowing, it is a danger as well. And what is the danger? It can cause floods, it can cause many other threats to humanity. The floods and when it is combined with explosion, then it becomes tsunami. Water rises to such a height that it can destroy a greater part of humanity. The last stage is the vapor. There is no threat to it. It is no threat to anything because the moment it forms steam, vapors, it disappears in existence, it becomes part of cosmos, the infinite cosmos. We get tsunami, we get the high tides, water level increases in the coastal areas. In the same way, there are three layers of energy. The first layer is solid, the next is fluid-like, and the third is the fluid-like, solid. One stage, it is at the level of the body. The second, the fluid layer, it is at the emotional level. When you are filled with emotions, the existential bioenergy begins to flow. You are filled with emotions, and emotions create disturbance. It makes you do certain things which you would have not done otherwise. When it reaches at the higher layer, that is the layer of the being or the energy layer, then it is vapors. In order to transform from liquid to vapor stage, intense energy is required. So at that level, so the first layer, the physical layer, when it is solid, like ice, it is known as lust. It always remains a threat to human life only when it becomes fluid-like, it begins to flow. It is the emotional heat that makes it flow, but it flows downward from a higher altitude to lower. At that stage, it is known as sex or passion. Passion can be of any type. That's why the more comprehensive word is passion than sex alone. Then when it gets, the heat comes to operate, it begins to evaporate in the cosmos, it becomes of cosmic nature. Then it is in transition, it is becoming love. Passion is, or sex is not love. It is the seed out of which the flower of love blossoms first, and then as the fruit, compassion comes in. Compassion means karuna, Hindi word. It is feminine in quality. It is the name that is given to female beings, karuna. It is therapeutic, and in that stage, there is no passion in it, no lust in it. It's just pure energy of harmony, bliss, and oneness. Then you realize, you verily say, we are not aliens, nor as strangers join. We are bound to each other by a causeless force. It is unseen but realized truth. It is to this form Jesus said, God is love. But you can say the vice versa, love is the only God. Love is godly, not the love that you know. It is therapeutic. Whatsoever is ailing or sick in a human being, that is because this energy of love is not flowing in you. You do not know that. You have not experienced love, the oneness, the harmony, the blissfulness. Whatsoever ailment is there at the physical level, psychological level, or at energy level is because the love is lacking in your life. Whatsoever is wrong happening in an individual, Somewhere it is connected with love. He could not attain to love. He could not share love. Love means not what you understand it. The energy that harmonizes the various discordant elements in you, because mind works in its own way, heart works in its own way, body works differently. So love is that energy that unites the functions of the head, heart. If you are conditioned in a particular way or you have an identity, then your love flows towards only that identity. The people who have this similar identity, not for others. Even if you say that is simply a lip service. So, two things happened. He has not attained to that cosmic, that eternal form of love, which is simply energy, not conditioned by your identities, not conditioned by your inhibitions or upbringing as a Hindu or a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew, and you have not attained to love in that form. You are a mini cosmos within harmony, because you are nourished by the light by the sun rays. So sun element is there in you. You are nourished by water, because 70% of your body is composed of water. Then the air, the fire is there in you, and the earth element, the basic element, all these are in you. They are in discordance in you, and when they are in harmony with you, only then something flows out of you and that you share. This is the cause of chaos in your life, disturbance. This creates your inner life. There is agony, there is suffering, there is pain. This represents the inner wounds. They can manifest in many forms. At the level of body, they appear as sickness, ailments. They are also the cause of psychological ailments at the level of mind. All these indicate that somewhere deep within there is absence of love in your life, absence of love in your life. Just as for its nourishment body needs food, and that too the nutritionally dense food, a donut and a coffee cannot nourish your physical body. A big portion of fries and a big Coke cannot nourish your body. You need to provide the the nutritionally dense food, the minerals, vitamins, what kind of oils, and other things are important. Without the food, body cannot sustain unless you develop that you the food brings the energy to the body, unless you reach to a stage that you can nourish your body with the meager food and you can nourish your body from the existence. In the same way, the soul or the beingness, for its evolution, for its health, needs love. Without food, the body cannot sustain. Without love as energy, the soul cannot live. Without love, the beingness, the soul is not born in you. Do not remain under this illusion that you have a soul. That comes only when you have experienced love within. Your anima and animus is balanced within one another, the positive and the negative. Just as you know, the illumination happens when the positive and the negative poles neutralize one another. When the energy flows from the positive to negative, and in the magnet it is called magnetic field, a field is created. So when love begins to flow within from your anima to animus, energy cycle is completed, and then you are nourished and nurtured. In the same way, when man who has attained to oneness within and a female who had attained to oneness within, not that otherwise, then the two energies create a magnetic field, and in that field nourishment happens. But at present, what happens? The chaotic male wants to unite with chaotic female. Disturbance and all kind of agony is the outcome in your male-female relations. When you have experienced love within you, the female has experienced love within, and they unite with one another, whether at the physical level or at the psychological level or at the level of energy, there is bliss overflows. When I say compassion is therapeutic, it means the master who has experienced, or one who has experienced this oneness within, he uses his compassion as a healing energy for the others. When you are within the energy field of such a person in whom the seed has blossomed into flower, its beauty and fragrance is radiating, reaches you, it brings transformation in you. Many ailments at the physical level, psychological level get cured or healed. The psychologically your emotions are healed. Physical ailments also get benefited. Any kind of ailment at the physical level or at the level of emotions, that is psychology, it is because of the absence of love. Sex is the lowest form of love. Love is in between. Below that, first the life has to come in, With birth, life comes in. Without life coming in, your journey will not begin. So, through sex, life comes into existence. Then you have to attain the light is the form of compassion. The compassion is invisible, formless. Light is the form of it. Light is a form, a manifestation that you can experience. You cannot see the light. You can experience it. You can feel its presence within you. So, compassion or the light is the highest form of love. Birth happens through sex, which is the lowest form. Then compassion you have to attain in your life for it to manifest as light. The two are bridged through love. Love is in between. During sex, the connection is basically at the level of the body. The two bodies are connected to one another. In compassion, the communion, the contact is at the level of energy. This is a spiritual connection. And in love, both are embedded into it. Compassion and passion. Karuna and passion or sex it is a blend. Love has the two in it. It is the union of the physical and the spiritual. Love is between sex and karuna, compassion. Passion and karuna. You can call compassion, you can call karuna a form of prayer. You can call it as meditation. Karuna or compassion is the highest form of energy. This word is very beautiful. Half of it is passion. Passion for attaining something. When there is passion in you towards a person, somehow or the other you want to attain to that person. And when it is refined in such a way that passion, that intensity is transformed, it does not remain a passion alone. Instead, it has transcended. It has become karuna or compassion. Out of compassion, you are giver, not receiver. In love, you are grateful to someone that the other has given you. There is a sharing. In compassion, you are grateful to the other that this other person is capable of receiving something from you. I am thankful, grateful to each one of you because you are capable of receiving what flows out of me. It is because of that I go on sharing what I have. And I am thankful that you have not rejected my offer, rejected me in any way. You are born, you have come into this existence to share. To share, you have come as a flower. The other has allowed you to share your presence with him. That was a receiving agent. You are thankful that the other has received you with equal dexterity. Compassion is the highest form of love. The greatest pain happens in life when you are not able to express yourself, when you cannot communicate, you cannot share your presence, and the poorest person is one who does not have anything to share, does not have anything to share. If you do not have anything to share, slowly and slowly you lose the capacity to share as well. And you become poor. A person who is full of lust, full of sex, is the poorest, as compared to that who is ready to share his presence, love, is relatively richer. And the one who is overflowing compassion, the fragrance of love, the beauty of love, which is light, is the richest. He is at the highest peak. No limitations, no bondage. He is not bound by anything. He is unlimited. He goes on sharing. And after sharing, he goes his way. He does not even wait for you to thank him. Instead, he is full of gratitude towards that person, that he or she has listened to him, he or she has welcomed him within her, within him. With tremendous love, he shares his energy, he shares his presence. With gratitude, he shares his presence. That is why compassion is therapeutic. Compassion is therapeutic. Unless compassion happens to you, you have not really lived. You are simply vegetating. Compassion, the first, through sex, life comes into existence. Life has to create a bridge of love, understanding in you. Then this bridge will connect you to already existing realm of light around. Connect you, connect life to light. It bridges. Compassion is the flower whose fragrance, whose beauty is light, manifest. Compassion is the formless, light is the form, the energy. When compassion happens on an individual, when a compassion flows out of a person, one attains to physical health, emotional health. Whosoever comes within his energy field is energized and is healed. Compassion is therapeutic. Compassion is therapeutic. Only this much for this morning. Until we meet again, take care and do have a pleasant day.